And now he's going to move down and do another attack, but it looks like there's a lot of banelings on the board now, which could spell trouble for these M&Ms.
Yeah, another good tech switch from these players. The Baneling's now going to go to work on these Marauders. Good job. Excellent job, actually, for Tarson, moving his Marines away and letting the Banelings hit the Marauders, which, of course, are beefy, are going to keep his units alive for a little bit longer. But I don't know if it's going to be long enough to keep his base alive. But I think that had he not done that, then this would be really kind of game over right here for Tarson. I think that, he's got reinforcements coming. He might be able to pull this out.
Yeah, Tarson's got a bunker up at his expansion, building another command center so he can float it down to the southeast gold expansion, I presume. And yeah, just shoring up his defenses with a siege tank here. But Bly is not going to let up. He's going to continue attacking.
Yeah, Bly going straight for these workers. These Banelings immediately queued to the workers as soon as they're done mutating. Bly doing a good job there of not exploding them cheaply, but the siege tank is going to do the work for Tarson, and those Banelings are all but wasted. Tarson now going to be able to go out here with this large contingent of medevacs and M&Ms here. A couple of siege tanks prowling around, and Tarson able to survive that Baneling threat, able to kind of shore up his defenses again. And
yeah.
I think
not only that, but if you look at the army tab, Tarson is now way ahead in army. And if he counterattacks now, Bly could be in big trouble. I don't know what Bly's been doing this whole time, but his army is no longer kept up.
Bly has two hatcheries right now morphing in right down here on the south and at the gold mineral expansion. A lot of his minerals obviously going towards these two hatcheries, trying to get expansions when he thought that Tarson was kind of locked into his base via Banelings. But right now Tarson, of course, as you said, way behind on the army tab. Production's got to be ramping up here for Tarson, making more Zerglings. Gonna probably turn half of those into Banelings and try to get a good position back so he can finish these expansions, going right up here where the destructible rocks are. But a couple of M&Ms are going to find them. I think he's going to go right back to these workers. Is Tarson going to be able to move these workers effectively? Oh, a big huge clump of workers goes down. Banelings going after the second clump. M&Ms are going to meet them, and these Banelings aren't going to have any effect. But a lot of workers going down there for Tarson. These Mutalisks still kind of prowling around on the field. And Bly doing a good job of kind of shielding these two brand new expansions, which were very risky, and he sacrificed a lot of army building time to build.
Bly did take down a lot of workers at Tarson's main, but you'll notice that Tarson's main pretty much has no minerals left. I guess he did him a favor by getting rid of those food units there. Now Tarson is free to build more army with that leftover food.
Now Tarson finally getting his own gold mineral expansion and then pushing out with these M&Ms, going to try to deny Bly this expansion here, which hasn't really even got going. So a little bit of wasted economy there for Bly, wasted minerals building that expansion that never really got off the ground. This gold mineral expansion up here for Bly, finally getting mining up, but a good army size here for Tarson.
Yeah, Bly moving in with more Zerglings, harassing Tarson's main base, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. Well, actually, it worked. It brought Tarson's army back to his main, even though Tarson, I think, at this point in the game could have easily walked into Bly's base and ended the game.
Yeah, not only did it hesitate Tarson enough to deny an attack, it also has left Tarson's supply block now. A lot of supply depots going down in that Zergling attack. Tarson cannot build any more units at the moment. Still, a tremendously healthy sized army for Tarson. I think that he could go out and do some return punishment to Bly right now. But he's got to be feeling nervous being supply blocked. Now not supply blocked, shoring up his supply depot numbers.
Yeah, Bly's just running around with those Zerglings being a pain in the ass, that's what Zerg is great at. No matter where you are on the map, the Zerglings could be sneaking in at some point. And Tarson, it seems to be working. The psychological tactic applied by Bly seems to be working on Tarson right now. And let's see if Tarson walks over these burrowed Banelings. See if these burrowed Banelings can do anything here.
Yeah, that's absolutely what Bly wants to happen right here. Tarson's army parked right behind this tall grass, excuse me, and Bly, I think, being able to see just the tip of this army. So Bly, at this Zelnaga watchtower, being able to kind of surmise that Tarson's army is here and going to go through this northern pass and waiting for him with these banelings. Really good tactical positioning and like little tactical strikes working in Bly's favor right now. And Tarson, is getting that disease that most Terrans get of just never knowing when to push out, never knowing if it's enough, never knowing if it's time to stop turtling.
Oh, but look, a raven is here with the army, and I think those banelings will be noticed, and they'll be rendered useless. It looks like Bly noticed the raven and decided to unburrow them and run them away.
But this is going to be very difficult for Tarson here. Of course, the Ultralisk is just tremendously powerful against these kinds of units, and with banelings streaming in the underneath, this is going to be very difficult for Tarson to combat. Ultralisks just absolutely devastating to Terran units, especially those siege tanks. The siege tanks having, next to no effect. The banelings still chasing these M&Ms, and they're going to get farmed down one by one, trying to use Stimpack to get away from them. The Medivacs are going to be the only thing left, and the Ultralisks are going to go to town on this main base right now. Ultralisks are going to cut off the M&Ms at the main ramp. That is the end of the escape for the M&Ms there. Two Ultralisks pincering them in. The SCVs.
It's hilarious. Just one Ultralisk comes off the bottom of the ramp. The M&Ms finally took it down, but it was just not enough. It's hilarious to me that one Ultralisk can walk up the ramp and stop an entire army from advancing.
Just terrific positioning there for the Ultralisks by Bly. These Medivacs doing what they can to heal the remaining units, but pretty soon it's only going to be Medivacs and a constant, huge wave stream, ocean of Zerglings being streamed into a Tarson's base now. Nobody can protect this base from these Zerglings. M&M's doing an admirable job, man, I can't talk, at the bottom of the ramp here, but the sheer amount of Medivacs keeping them alive, but it can't possibly last long enough for Tarson to be able to recoup his losses here. The Zerglings just constantly streaming in.
Yeah, it's not going to be long until Tarson has to say Bly. Oh, jeez.
Bly, GG. Looks like it's coming up any second now from Tarson. I know that I would have said GG a long time ago. I just can't beat Ultralisks. Ultralisks are just so powerful, and you need the right units. You need Banshees. I mean, I don't know what you need, but it's just I've seen.
Yeah, is it Banshees? I mean, you know what? Like Tarson stopped building Banshees so long ago, and I think it's fair to say they built way too many Medivacs in the end game. Those Medivacs are left alive. You know that there's too many of them. I think.
Yeah, well, I think like what we were talking about. The Terran being locked into his base and just feeling like there's never a good chance to attack. I think Tarson had the army, and he let the Zerg get to Ultralisks. And I've been there many times, and I felt, damn, I think I felt like I deserved the win, and I didn't. I beat myself. And I think Tarson, not completely, but I think in major points of this game, kind of beat himself up.
Yeah.
He allowed Bly to sneak in with the banelings. Did a really good job, I think, with when he separated his Marines and his Marauders. I think that kind of saved him at that point and allowed him to shore up his army and get it really big. But he should have hit back right then and there and seen what he could have accomplished. But he stayed on his own half, and what ends up happening is you give the Zerg enough time, enough minerals to get Ultralisks, and then it's pretty much game over. I haven't seen many people come back from that many Ultralisks. To tell you the
I
truth.
got to admit to you, about 5 minutes ago, I was pretty sure Tarson was going to win the game. But in retrospect, Bly did have a better economy at the time, and although Tarson had a bigger army, he could have done more damage, he just didn't attack quick enough. And the surplus of hatcheries that Bly had, he was able to build units incredibly quickly and get those Ultralisks out, get the armor upgrade to those Ultralisks, and they were just too much for Tarson to handle in the end. He just didn't have the economy to keep up, wasn't able to build the more expensive units that it would have required to take out those Ultralisks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the last game that we did, where we saw TLO kind of playing Zerg like a Terran, I think this was a perfect example of a Zerg playing like a Zerg. Small tactical strikes, lots of expansion, kind of, dealing with the consequences of expansions going down and then immediately ramming expansions right back onto the field. Zergling play, Baneling play, Mutalisk play, Queens, and eventually Ultralisks, and this is the full contingent of the Zerg play versus the Terran. This is how they can be effective, and you got to get into their heads. That's exactly what that's exactly what happened to Tarson. Bly got in his head, and he ended up turtling, and that's what loses you the game in the end.
That is right.
So I really enjoyed this game. I hope you guys at home really enjoyed this game. On behalf of myself, Jadius, Bayus, and the Wood League, of course, we will see you folks next time.